You're on.
My name is Randy Ross, and I'm going to do the opening scene for my one-man play that I'm working on called The Chronic Singles Handbook. It's a spring morning in Boston, and I'm standing in front of my medicine cabinet. Vicodin, Ambien, or Heineken? What do newly unemployed people have for breakfast? I close the medicine cabinet and consult my day planner. Nothing in May, nothing in June, or July, or August, or September. No meetings, no interviews, no dates. Actually, I haven't had a date in 3 months. I close the day planner, wash down 2 Vicodin with a beer, and crawl back into bed. The sun wakes me at noon, and I have to consider other activities besides substance abuse. I make a list. 1. Cover windows with aluminum foil to block sun. 2. Clean trackball and sign up for online dating. I spend the next 3 weeks in the dark pounding away on Match.com as if we're a game of whack-a-mole. Some days I'm the mallet, but most days I'm the mole. When some people get depressed about dating, they consult friends, relatives, or an astrologer. I consult a dating spreadsheet that lists women I've dated over the last 10 years, how and when we met. Looking at past trends is soothing because it reminds me that I've survived droughts before. By projecting the data forward, I've even been able to predict when I next meet someone. But when I look at dates.xls this time, the forecast isn't good. It's late spring, and historically summer is my slow season. Worse still, there's no data for how I'll fare without a fancy job title. I am literally in uncharted territory. Welcome to my world. My name is Randy, and I am chronically single. I may be alone, but I've got lots of company. In the US, 112 million adults are single, which hasn't really done me any good. Have I mentioned that I haven't had a date in 3 months? But maybe the problem's not me. Maybe the problem is this country. And that's when I decide to blow my severance on a 4-month trip around the world. But before I can leave, I have a few stops to make. My Loneliest Planet guidebook suggests saving money by traveling like a backpacker. I decide to forego the dreadlocks and silly pajama pants, but shop for the other stuff. As fate would have it, the salesman at a local store has just backpacked through Southeast Asia. Excuse me, I ask, do you have a 60-liter backpack with a waterproof cover? No problem, dude. Don't know if you're going to Bangkok, but if you are, I highly recommend Tugs for the Asian massage. Thank you, that sounds like an excellent suggestion. Do you have 30% DEET insect repellent? Got you covered, bro. In Phuket, Shooters offers an epic all-night back rub. I'll certainly make a point of stopping in. Do you have one of those SPF 50 shirts with a hidden security pocket? In Koh Samui, there's a body spa called the Curious Finger. In the end, I spend $500 with a knowledgeable salesman, but I avoid shaking his hand. Next stop, the vaccine clinic. 6 weeks before my departure, I find myself in the waiting room of a Boston clinic. A nurse wearing a black hoodie under a starched lab coat hustles me into her office. Her computer sports a bumper sticker. I stop for entrails. So, where are you headed, she asks. Let's see, I'm going to Greece, then South Africa, then Thailand, and then Vietnam, and then Cambodia. Wow, wish I got that much vacation. Actually, I just lost my job. Huh, bummer. She taps her keyboard a few seconds, and then looks directly at me. You're gonna need 7 shots, 3 more visits, and we'll need some blood. A newbie, eh? You'll be fine. She hands me pamphlets on malaria and chikungunya fever. Then she starts doling out the prescriptions. If you get the runs in Vietnam, take ciprofloxacin. In Thailand, take azithromycin. In Cambodia, I want you to take Pepto-Bismol daily. It can turn your tongue black, but some women like that look. By the time she finishes with me, I'm afraid to leave my apartment, never mind the country. But there's no turning back. I've already spent $6,000 on plane tickets. I better come back with something that doesn't require antibiotics. A job, a woman, or at least some material for a Match.com profile. Now I'm going to do a scene. It's actually one of the later stops in the play. So the narrator is on the road, and this scene takes place in Thailand. Bangkok. Bangkok. The name alone sounds skeevy, and from the moment I get off the plane, I'm on high alert. I've read about the transsexual ladyboys, tuk-tuk scammers, and locals that play volleyball using their feet. The decor in the airport doesn't help either. Smirking Buddhas, sneering Buddhas, a gang of Buddhas pummeling a three-headed snake. The airport bus drops me downtown on Sukhumvit Road. That's a boulevard that's supposed to be 2 blocks from my hotel. On the corner stands a local woman. She's wearing a t-shirt that says University of Nebraska. That's Nebraska with just 1 P. The whole area is packed with these little carts selling noodles and soup. I start to walk and the sooty, humid air stings like a lung full of red ants. Immediately I'm lost, so I approach a guy. He's got a mossy blonde beard growing down his sternum. He's wearing a fishing vest and shorts, and the chin strap on his wide-brimmed hat is pulled snug against his jowls. He looks like he's bracing for a typhoon. "Excuse me," I ask, "do you know how to get to a street called Soy 38? "You from the U.S.? "Yeah, I'm from Boston." "Yeah, I'm from Texas. I was an MP back in Saigon, one of the last guys out. Last guys out. Wow, do you know it's okay to eat in these food carts around here?" "Oh, you don't want to eat around here. Soy, cowboy, it's just a few subway stops. Subway stops." This whole Sukhumvit area is built on a swamp. I'm going to retire here. Retire here. In less than 2 minutes, this guy has confirmed my worst fears about Southeast Asia. This place can do things to you. Permanent, mind-warping things. I put on my hat, tighten my chin strap, and walk away. Walk away.
Let's see if we can. There we go. Well, welcome to AHA. Let's see how this works. This might work. Hi, maybe this works without. I don't know. But if you want to come in, you can. But
So should I be facing you or facing
no,
you?
you're gonna. These are the people that love us. We can sit closer if you can do it, so she can get us very close. And maybe just yes, that's it. So very nice. Yes, beautiful. Okay, perfect. This is Christina. I don't know her last name, and maybe never will. So what does it feel like doing this again and again? Because you've done this a few times now, yes?
I've done it a few times, but this is a different setup.
Yeah.
Because the play is an hour long, and I've been rehearsing in my apartment, so I move around.
Yeah.
And at a certain point, you kind of get a lot of the words get tied in with your gestures.
Yes.
They get attached to certain movements. So doing it here, where I'm standing still, and
Well, you didn't need to stand still either, but you probably.
well, yeah, but when I'm rehearsing, I'm walking all over.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, I
I've
see.
got this. I broke up the stage into six spots, and I go to different ones at different times.
Oh, we could have, but we didn't know. But maybe next time.
It would be all. It would be all.
Yeah,
over.
so we
It's
could
gonna
have
be
a
crazy.
ball. Well, maybe.
Yeah, but yeah, it's it doesn't get that much easier.
So
The Bangkok thing I've been doing for 3 years, and I still get nervous.
And I asked you this before the show, and you're doing this. Does doing this accomplish something for you? Doing it, saying the story again and again?
I guess that's the theory, isn't it? Isn't that supposed to be how healing works? The things get repeated over and over, and they eventually lose their grip on you or their power or whatever. Isn't that how?
Right. So how is this? This is, of course, you opened this up for the next question. How is this healing? Saying these stories.
I don't know.
I love Randy for saying that. It was so after careful study of this for years and years.
I don't know anything.
That is such
I
a
repeat
place
it.
to begin.
The place of no knowledge.
Yes, there's a famous book called The Cloud of Unknown. And that's when you can get there, then you're really ready to make your spiritual journey.
Wasn't it called? Was it baby mind or something? Isn't there something?
Something
for the
about
term, like
mind.
for the absolute
That's very nice.
I seem to be regressing.
So- and that's really-
I'm learning less. I think, or I'm really realizing I know less.
That's very beautiful. And so I think that's, so now you're gonna tell me, oh, you gave me the name of this. This is the Chronic Singles Handbook. And we talked about this. And Randy Ross is One Man's Global Search for Love, a solo performance inspired by actual events, exotic locales, Pepto-Bismol, and a body spa named the Curious Finger, which we heard about, yes. And someone said, the balance on your credit card is overdue, please remit immediately.
Yeah, those are my quotes. Those
Yes,
dates.
so people can find out about you at randyrossmedia.com, yes, in case. Okay, so it's, and again, let me get this title, the chronic, so chronic is a disease, right? Is chronic
It's a
disease?
condition.
Oh, a
It's
condition that
it's a
keeps coming
condition-
back.
A condition that doesn't go away. It's
That
kind of,
does
it's kind of a
not go-
low level. It's always humming in the background.
Oh, because you can have chronic bronchitis, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Now, this is a handbook, though. So a handbook, what does a handbook usually do for us?
It usually gives you instruction, but I don't know how much instruction is in this.
Or maybe, though, maybe if you were tempted to title it that way, maybe. So what have we learned? What have you learned both about being single? Well, first we'll do one question at a time. What have you learned about being single?
From doing this?
No,
or,
no,
or
just
in general.
In general, really.
I think the main part of this play is that what I'm trying to get across is it may not be your fault. I think there's a lot of, it's like society, especially also I'm Jewish, we gotta blame somebody. It's always somebody's fault.
Yes?
And so we gotta blame somebody. And this, I think the idea is like, if you're single and you've been single all your life, you got issues, but there are people that are worse off than you.
Oh, that's...
So,
Well,
you're
can we
high
be
function.
proud? Can we have, like, gay pride?
Chronic
Can we have a
single
sing-
pride?
Can we have chronic single pride day?
Hey, that would be good. Then I could make some money. I could sell T-shirts. I'm chronic single and I'm proud.
Yeah, and I'm proud. But
I can't get a date and I'm proud.
Can we be proud of that?
Why not?
I mean, proud to... Something happens when you're alone, right?
Aren't monks,
Yes.
spiritual people,
Yes.
they
do that,
spend a lot of
yes.
time alone. And it's very difficult.
So if it's a handbook, it should have instructions
It
for...
doesn't. Actually, I got that from, there was a novel a few years ago called the Russian Debutante's Handbook,
Yes?
Gary Steingart. It was a funny book. He used the word handbook, so I was like, okay, I'll use it.
Okay, so if...
It's not a handbook. There's no instruction in
Okay,
here.
so-
There's no help in here.
So we're gonna get a better title, at least Randy might never use this again. But let's see if we can get a better, a more honest, but this is a very honest play, I can see.
It's inspired by actual events.
Yes. So what should we really call it?
Well, playbook, but there's one option would be the Chronic Singles Playbook, but there was that movie. What was that recent movie called the Silver Linings Playbook?
Oh, the playbook, so how to be, but even that would be
Yeah.
teach us how to be
Yeah,
chronically
no,
single.
this is,
Now, if you have a chronic, like diabetes is chronic, right?
I think so.
It comes, or breathing, I see. So we would have to learn to accept it and even love it, yes?
Yes, embrace. Yes,
Embrace your,
embrace
your being
your
single.
singleness.
I'd love to do that, even when I'm, whatever I'm in. Or embrace being in a difficult relationship, yes? Embrace it.
your situation.
There's in co-counseling. You know co-counseling at all?
No.
There's something called a contradiction, in which we take something that we don't like and say how much we like it until we laugh. So I had a lawyer in my class, and he said, I had a student in my class, and he said, I love being cheated by my lawyer. I love, so maybe this is it. I love being chronically single, yes?
guess so.
until we can.
Until we laugh.
Until we laugh.
Unless we start crying. I guess.
No, crying is fine
Crying's
as part
fine, okay.
as part of the journey for laughter. Crying is fine.
Because actually, at the end of the play, there's a scene where I'm in a therapist's office, and I'm saying to actually, what does he say? He says, I'm in a therapist's office, part of the play, and I'm saying, there's got to be some treatment or medication that can, help me find a relationship. And the therapist says, you're 54 years old. All the therapy and drugs are not going to change, who you're attracted to, or, are not going to change you. This is who you are. And I always start to tear up.
Oh my!
In that, because
he's such an honest person. I promised. Can I tell him what I promised you?
You can tell him.
I've taught psychic skill, as you all know, who've been with us with AHA for many years, which stands for a human among humans. And we apply the human here. So I think Randy Ross is such an honest and touching person. How many men will come on the show and speak to you? Elizabeth, we have our wonderful crowd here who watches it, or Janet, or Gail, or Donald, and we'll say, hardly knowing you. You really don't know Elizabeth very well yet, do you? And we'll
or
say,
Donald. I don't know Donald very well either.
We'll say that you would be crying about this. So I think there's something, you're convincing me that there's something very beautiful about being single. It might be hard to. And something very beautiful about getting up in front of people and, could we say, celebrating it? You're not complaining, it doesn't seem.
No, we're embracing. This is who we are. We can't change it. We're at a certain age. All the drugs and therapy are not going to change who you are. They're not going to shrink you into someone you're not.
And you, in some ways, were trying to have a good time with it, right? When you were just doing this presentation.
Yes. Well, it's funny and
touching
and pathetic. It's funny. It's funny and pathetic at the same time. And sad. Yeah.
And pathetic is part of it also. Yes.
Yeah. Pathos.
Oh, and pathos means.
Some emotional.
Very powerful. Pathos is good, and bathos I think is bad, if I remember correctly.
Oh, okay.
Your bathos is overdoing the pathos. But pathos is yes, that's a compliment to say to something that there's a lot of pathos in it.
Okay.
And pathetic is usually not a compliment.
Oh, we got it all. That was the goal here. Mix it up.
And you don't need to answer this, but since what would be a moment of pathos on your journey and a moment that you feel is pathetic on your journey? You don't need to answer either of them, or you can choose even one if you want.
Well, there's several in the play. There's several pathetic moments because the way the plot for the story is, okay, so he leaves on the trip, and he's rejected by women on 3 continents. And each time each time he gets rejected, he reflects on a past girlfriend. Why didn't this? Well, maybe this is why I'm still single. Or this
so he comes up with reasons.
Yes, well, he's trying to figure it out. This is when you're single. This is the whole thing is you're searching. Why? What's the matter with me? Why am I in this situation? We got to blame somebody.
Oh yes.
So my theory is when you're in your 30s, when you're single, it's everybody else's fault.
Yes.
But once you're over 40. There's no one else to look at. It's just you realize there's something. May have some issues.
Yes.
And you get into the cycle of kind of self-flagellation after every bad date and every horrible Match.com experience. You get into this self-flagellation kind of thing, and that's what he does in the play. So after every bad situation in these different countries, one situation he meets an attractive woman on a Greek ferry, and she's a little wacky, but he likes wacky.
Yes.
And that doesn't work, and then he reflects on why he's attracted to crazy women.
Oh, what was great? That's very beautiful. Isn't he a beautiful person? Let's hear it, Elizabeth, Donald, Gail.
Actually, that was the one I did at your house. Why I'm over 40 and still single.
Oh.
So that's in the play, and then another scene. He goes to South Africa, meets another woman. That doesn't work.
So you like wacky though? That's very nice though.
I do.
And so what would be an example of this? What was this wacky woman? What made her wacky?
Well, on the ferry, she throws everything overboard. So they're on the back of the boat. It's midnight, kind of romantic, and she lights a cigarette, throws the butt overboard. She lights another one, throws the lighter overboard. They get some drinks. She's throwing the cans and bottles overboard. So the thing is, he takes it as like, okay, well, she likes to throw it. He gives her instruction on how to throw a fastball and a forkball and a curveball.
Nice.
Yeah, well, it's kind of touching, and then it doesn't go anywhere.
I see. Oh my. Well, so I predicted, I had taught psychic skills for over 25 years at the Cambridge Center. Psychic skills for psychic life. So I think that someone as honest and touching as you.
Touched.
Yes. I haven't seen that yet though. How are you touched?
In the play.
Oh, because I haven't seen that yet.
Oh, that's nice. Okay.
No, I haven't. But even then, you might be, touch is another name for wacky, right? Is that true?
Yes.
Oh, so maybe you like, so two wacky people could be together. And maybe we're all wacky, really, if we would, honestly. Randy's very honest. So I think you can write in to CCTV, one, if you'd like to marry Randy. Please don't be shy. Just Michael Koran, care of CCTV, 438 Mass Ave, Cambridge, Mass. 02138. Because my prediction is, and we're going to put these on the web, by the way, including on your website. My prediction,
okay, that's good.
and this is satisfaction guaranteed or is money back. My prediction is in each of the next 4 seasons, and so we're doing this on prime time now.
Okay.
On each of the next 4 seasons, there's going to be at least one woman who is really going to, as you are feeling, I am sure right now in the audience, there's going to be one woman who really loves, not only likes, but loves Randy Ross and loves what he's doing and his honesty. Where can you find an honest, right? An honest single man. You're getting more and more honest as the years go on.
Yeah, I think you don't care anymore. It's like, yeah, this is...
See, that's an honest answer. You wouldn't expect an answer like that, would you? Look, it just comes out. I have to try to be honest. Okay, so each of the, and if you're one of these women, you better...
The other thing with the honesty is you get to a certain age, there's no filter. That's the other...
Yes,
that's the flip side of it. That's the problem.
Well, we could talk about, I'd love to talk about that if we have time. I'm going to just very briefly say, so in the summer, one in the fall, one in the winter, and one in the spring, there's going to be a woman who really loves Randy Ross as you do now, and going to be interested in him. And I just hope, and he doesn't have to do anything except do the things he loves, which is...
Working out.
Where do you work out?
Boston's Sports Club.
Which is where?
All over town.
Oh, anywhere, okay.
I go to one.
So people can know where to find you, yes, where else?
Skiing.
Oh, where do you ski?
I like to go to Montana, Big Sky.
Go to
Vermont.
What a beautiful person. What else? What's the name of the ski? What's the name of the ski place in Vermont?
Actually, I belong to Boston Ski and Sports Club.
Oh, okay.
So I go to a lot of their trips.
All right.
And I perform. I do readings all over town.
And people can find out by going to...
They go to my website,
which is randyrossmedia.com.
Yeah.
Yes, to find out where these performances, to see this whole show.
Yeah, well, actually, I've got 2 shows up in Portland, Maine, on June 29th and June 30th, and then I have 5 shows down in Washington D.C. These are fringe festivals, so could be a lot of sketchy stuff.
But you're brave to put this up. So this is what's going to happen, and with these 4 women, one a season. But this is only come true if you do this. Even if you're not attracted to them originally, you will at least be friends with them because they have the exquisitely good taste of really, really liking you. Is that okay? Can we? Yes. Okay. Wow, this is on television. So if you see Randy and you really are in love with him, and he says he's going to be your friend at least, regardless of what defenses come up, because you've seen it. Okay, now very briefly, tell me about when the filters start going down.
Actually, they've been coming down. They're just.
So explain to us who don't know what a filter is yet, because we haven't had one come down. What does it mean that a filter comes down?
Manners, political correctness.
Just one at a time. What does it mean the manners filters come down?
I've become a little less polite.
Oh yes, oh I see. Because you don't have to just you be what you're as you are doing in the
Yes,
show.
I mean I live in Somerville.
Yes.
I mean, we have ways of doing things in Somerville that they don't do in Newton.
Oh, because you just say. I'm learning that because I've had some,
Also, I've gotten, I'm a writer, I'm on a budget, so now when I go into a bar, I get Budweiser in a can or a bottle. I ask the bartender, hey, what do you got cheap that's in a big giant can?
yes.
There's no pride anymore.
Oh, I see.
I'm
So,
on-
so the pride and I see. I understand. So we have. I'm going to give this to you. 58 seconds to go, and you could say farewell if you like to the people who love you on CCTV.
Okay. Oh, is it Donald and Emily?
Donald and
Elizabeth?
Yes.
Goodbye, and thank you.
And maybe any final words about people who are struggling with love, whether single or not. Yes.
Actually, I don't. It's a tough situation. I'm wrestling with it also.
Isn't that beautiful?
Well, actually, I can recommend some books.
Oh, yes?
Oh, there's books. Oh, there's a great one called The Loner's Manifesto. At Party of One, The Loner's Manifesto. There's also another book called Quirky Alone. And the best one of all is called Solitude in Search of Self.
That's very beautiful. And you're doing that. I can feel it. Yes?
I'm trying.
Okay, Solitude in Search of Self. Thank you, Randy Ross. Wow.
Gee, that went fast.
Yes, when
Wow.
time flies when you're having fun.
Okay.